well. Right now, we've been reacting all morning to what might be the worst loss for Tony Vitello in the San Francisco Giants this season. But how many times have we said that this year, Joe? Feels like a lot. But it's not all doom and gloom. There were some positives yesterday, and there might just be a silver lining of this season, if there can be when you're one of the worst teams in baseball. Bryce Eldridge is looking pretty freaking good.
He's looking amazing. The at-bats, you can make an argument outside of Jung Ho. He's given you the best at-bats over the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Just each one in terms of grinding, not chasing, really truly knowing what's coming, fouling off really difficult pitches to get a pitch that you like to drive. I mean, he's been outstanding.
Him, Jung Ho Lee, Casey Schmidt.
It has been nice to see Chapman hit better, too.
Chapman's been playing
I do need to say that.
No, he's been playing much better. It's really been refreshing to watch, quite frankly, considering how much people were crushing him. He was going to the media saying he's really feeling it from the fan base. So it is nice to see. And the fans are cheering him on a little bit more, too, I feel like. And lo and behold, if you start producing, fans get off your back. We don't really give a damn. Hit the ball, hit some home runs, we'll be happy.
Bryce right now, last 7 games is 10 for 25. Last 15 games, 20 for 51. His on-base percentage is .467 over the last 15 games. That's crazy.
Okay, I know.
That is that means you're on base almost every other at-bat.
I know losing sucks.
God.
I know it's been a struggle to watch this season. I know there were high expectations. I don't think the expectations at this point, June 9th, are playoffs anymore. It's just, can this team play some good baseball, maybe climb out of this hole, get back to 500 at any point? Let's start there. But let's start with just good, fundamentally sound baseball. And our young guys producing. Well, Bryce Eldridge is producing. If you want to consider Casey Schmidt young, he's 27, still relatively young. He's producing. And Jung Ho Lee, who, let's be honest, a lot of Giants fans, I know you did, Joe. I sure did, but I thought I was a little higher on him than most heading into the season. But this guy was an unknown. Farhan Zaidi, who a lot of people did not like around here, gave this guy a fat contract straight from the Korean Baseball League, from the KBO. And we were like, what? So that's the guy you bring. Not Aaron Judge, not Bryce Harper, not any of these other guys. Him? And you know what? I see the vision now. I see what he saw potential in. And that is a huge win. So I understand. If you can compartmentalize, Giants fans, the stain of losing, which sucks, which I get, but you're seeing the development of some of these guys that you want to stick around for years and years to come. I do think that is not a small win, but a potential silver lining of a lost season. I think you could wrap your arms around that at the very least.
Well, I was thinking about, Bryce last night, and with so much territory just in general everywhere at AT&T Park, right, at Oracle.
Sure.
He's going to hit a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
He's not going to get a lot of triples because he just doesn't have that kind of speed, but he's going to get a lot of doubles. And I think that is the area that I think is the most underrated. The year that Posey won the MVP, do people know he had 39 doubles?
I did not.
39. One thing about Jeff Kent when he was at AT&T, when he played there, is not only did he hit home runs, he hit a lot of doubles.
The doubles machine out there.
What?
Doubles machine.
He was a doubles machine, Jeff Kent.
Absolutely. 42 in 2002, 49 in 2001. That's incredible.
An MVP
and
right
then
there.
In 2000, his first year there, he had 41 as well. So, 3 straight years of 40-plus doubles. Quietly, and I forgot about this, in that 09 breakout year for Pablo, he had 44 doubles. So Randy Wynn, when he first came over, had a year with a lot of doubles. I think it was 07, 06, like 42. So I guess where I'm going at is that, we can obsess about the home run ball all we want. The thing that I'm most encouraged with Bryce is that, he's not just swinging for the fences. He's just lining it the other way, driving it into the gap. Like last night, you saw both going down the line on the second to last at-bat and then the third to last at-bat, driving one into the gap into right center. And I just think he's going to trot his way into 40 doubles in the next year or two.
And it's what you said earlier, the word situation, right? Situationally, he knew what to do. Hey, right now, I just need to get an RBI. I don't need to swing for the fences. I don't need a home run. Let's shoot this ball the other way to the left side, and let's take the lead here. And they did that. 2-1 at the time. It was like, okay, is that going to be the game-winning hit? Bryce Eldridge, let's freaking go, baby. And it felt like that at the time. And then obviously things unraveled there. He had an opportunity there late in the game, which I felt bad. I don't feel bad. Like this guy's, he's been great. But man, I would have loved for him to be the hero even more last night.
Sure.
He shouldn't have had to be the hero again, but it would have been a cool moment had he tied the game or won it.
And look, I think
walked off.
We've lost our minds about Triples Alley, and I'll listen to like anything at this point. Whatever. Like you want to say that they need to get rid of and abolish Triples Alley. I'm fine with that. Last night, quietly, no one will bring this up except me. When Jung Ho Lee beats out that grounder in the top of the eighth, they're shading Bryce in right field so into the gap, all right, into the Triples Alley gap, that on the throw over, where finally Jung Ho Lee gets a pitcher to throw over and think that he's going to steal a base yesterday, the pitcher skips it. The second baseman is really the only guy who's going to make a play on that errant throw because the right fielder is so buried into Triples Alley. I thought he made a hell of a play to just hold Jung Ho Lee to second.
That was Dylan Cruz, the young guy that was in the right field. Yeah, because they shifted him over.
Yeah. So like, those are the kind of elements because of Bryce's power, because of how he's hitting into the gaps, because of the way that the ballpark is. Like, that could have even been a bigger play for them yesterday. And it's nice that Jung Ho Lee is getting on base in front of Bryce because you got to hold Jung Ho Lee on. Well, what does that open up on that side? It opens up the pull side for Bryce Eldridge to rip one through. So I think the two of them are performing beautifully in the lineup together.
925. See, and then we get cynical takes like this. Except Eldridge didn't grind and he chased with the game on the line. Like, so we're gonna get mad at him for that, but not about him giving the team the lead late in the game
against the guy he's never faced.
It's just like can't win. But you know what? It would be a small win in a victory of this season if you came out knowing you finally developed a number one prospect in a guy that could stick around in the big leagues. That would be a win. And that would be a small feather, I think, in Tony Vitello's cap a little bit. Ultimately, it's on the player to get it done, and I'm going to give credit to the player. But I see the videos. I've seen him working with Ron Washington every day yesterday before the game, working on his glove. Yeah. Even though he's not playing a lot of first base, and I would actually like to see him more of that. Well, I think Devers can get some breaks. Can he? Put him some DH now and then.
He made a really nice play on the James Wood play. It's a subtle play, but like James Wood kind of chops one down the line. Yeah. And how many times this year have you seen that ball hit the bag and bounce over the first baseman's head, or the first baseman doesn't hustle to go get it and it goes foul, and like you get an out if you hustle.
That's what I'm saying. So it was nice. It was nice to see him at first. It was nice to see him at first yesterday. I want more of that.
Yeah.
I understand Devers being frustrated and then like being like, hey, like I play better when I'm playing defense. Like I understand that mindset. There's something to that. That being said, I'm not going to lie, Devers, Bryce Eldridge gives me a better opportunity right now than you do, bud. So if it helps Bryce even more to play first base, maybe I start leaning into that. Just saying. But I understand. It's a different level of commitment, which is kind of interesting too, because on one hand, if you're the manager, right, you have to cater to the highest paid player in the history of the franchise, Rafael Devers. You traded him for a reason. On the other hand, this is the number one prospect in your organization in Bryce Eldridge. This guy also matters a lot too. So it's this balancing act. Again, not easy if you're Vitello managing some of these egos with a guy like Devers and a young hotshot in Eldridge.
I think one thing is pretty evident to me. Like if you're really, let's say you're really optimistic about Bryce Eldridge and you're looking for something to really hang your hat on. Clearly with all of the more at-bats and the development, whatever they've done with Casey Schmidt, and I think he individually gets a lot of credit.
Totally.
His command of the strike zone is so much better today than it was 2 years ago.
I would agree with that.
I think it's way better this year than it was at the beginning of last year when Chapman first hurt himself and he got elevated, correct?
Correct.
Like Bryce's command of the strike zone the last 2 weeks when he's played every day, haven't you felt really good? Like, he doesn't approach his at-bats like a rookie.
No. And it's night and day from what we saw early on.
Yes, that's...
And you know...
So imagine where he's going to be at the end of the year.
He's 21.
Imagine where he'll be at the beginning of next year, at the end of next year. Like, I don't know, man. I feel really good about Bryce. Like, I was really optimistic about him. And then, you know, I got worried like everyone did. And I thought last night that double down the line, as well as the other hit prior to that, just, it was such a great moment for him. And he's at second base and he's pumping his fists. And I was just like, dude, like that, these are the little moments I want from the youngster.
And I wasn't really worried about the player, Bryce Eldridge. It was the handling of him in the lineup every day that people were going nuts about.
Yeah, but he needs to play every day to develop and build confidence and then build his repertoire.
That's, I think, what I was getting at is people just wanted to see him every day because I think you and I could even see it from the couch being like, yeah, this young kids need to develop. I don't care what sport it is. They need to go out there and play. Now, are there situations where a guy can sit for a little bit and learn? Yeah, when quarterbacks, all the time we see that. And yeah, I think the poster child for that is probably what has happened in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers with Brett Favre, and then Jordan Love under Aaron Rodgers. I think that is a perfect example of when that can work, right? But it's not always the case. Sometimes guys need to go out there immediately. Sometimes you got a guy like Andrew Luck. I could win now. Like he's pro ready.
Yes.
Put him in there right now. This Giants team in this season, it was over before it started, which might even be a blessing for Eldridge because maybe I don't know if this team was 13 games over 500, Joe. I don't know if Eldridge would be playing as much as he is lately. I don't know. Again, you're 13 games over, so that you're feeling great about the season in totality. Wow, is Tony Vitello going to be manager of the year? You know, Devers must be playing. Like, sure, but I do think I'm looking at this season a little bit differently, and maybe that's just the eternal optimist in me at times, that if I can come away from this season that we all think could be a lost year when it comes to the standings, knowing Bryce Eldridge is that dude, knowing Jung Ho Lee is a solidified right field, which I'm not scoffing at. You have a legit outfield spot that is dedicated to. I think a lot of people heading into this year just shoehorned Elliot Ramos as that guy in left field. We'll see when he comes back what that's going to look like. But those are two guys that I could shoehorn in there the next handful of years and be confident with.
Yeah.
That's a big deal as we're talking about trading Arise potentially, which would suck, but I understand why you're probably going to.
I know. And like Arise and Jung Ho Lee, like this is a random one. Like the most ever singles for the Giants ever. Not doubles, not hits, you know, just most ever singles.
In a season?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Just singles.
Can you give me the time frame, the year? Come on.
Is that even, I mean,
come on.
1930.
Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Shoehorn Jackson.
Just making up names?
Yes.
Bill Terry.
Bill Terry.
You'll see his...
No, I always go back to...
Hall of Fame.
What was the Jock Pretty episode where Crazy Legs? That was the guy he just threw out. Crazy Legs. Oh, somewhere Whitey Gleason smiling. Oh, that was all time.
So, you know, 177.
177?
That's singles, just singles.
Oh my God.
I mean, both Jung Ho Lee and Arise, like they're like right in that ballpark where they're at like, you know, low 60s, mid 60s in terms of just singles. Like they could flirt with that. I know that's a random one, but when you're a team that's been around since the 1870s,
right?
Like this goes to show you, like, and I think one thing that has been really nice this year, all these people on like the 3 true outcomes. Now, batting average is really important. Like, do you hit the ball where they ain't?
Yeah.
That still matters. And I think one of the refreshing things about this lineup that they've had this year is Arise, is Jung Ho Lee. And I think, you know, obviously the strikeouts have been, you know, just driving all of us crazy. It's just like 13 strikeouts this year for Luis Arise.
People started guessing. I don't think they've heard it yet. They said Brett Butler, Willie McGee. No. 177 singles in the season.
Just singles.
415. Bryce is seeing beach balls right now. He's not reaching and trying to hit for power. He's just showing his hitting pedigree. I agree with that. Just keep doing it, man. Just be easy. Like he just looks like the game has slowed down for him. Mm-hmm. And when the game slows down for you, that tells me all you need to know about a pro. Because sometimes it never does. There's a reason we call certain players 4A players, because it never clicks at the big league level. I think I've seen enough of a sample size from Bryce. People might disagree. And 888-957-9570. Have you seen enough of a sample size from Bryce Eldridge, who's batting 287 right now, slugging 448, to say, you know what? this is the dude going forward for the franchise to build around. Have you seen enough from Bryce Eldridge at the big league level?
You're always going to want more.
888-957-9570.
Right? You're always going to want more. There's just no other way around.
But has he passed the eye test for you?
I think the last 2 weeks to me are like, there's steps that you have to go through. And this is one of the many steps that you go through where it's like, all right, can you adjust to being an everyday player? Boom, check, right?
Boom.
Now the league is going to slowly start to adjust to him, and he's going to have to continue tinkering and adjusting back. And I think one of the things that I noticed is they went soft away on him for a long time. Well, he's laid off that pitch. And now what are they doing? Hard in.
Yep.
You know, and yesterday they went hard in, then hard away. Right. And he ripped that ball down the line. That's why I felt so good. When you're ripping them foul, okay, you're that hard in, the only where you're putting that as a big guy is probably foul. That's what a pitcher's thinking. And then when I rip you back the other way, you have to be so balanced to be able to stay fair and level swinged with that ball down the line. I thought it was such a great at-bat.
Well, no, and I'm glad you brought that up because who we have on last week, Jeremy Affeldt, multi-time World Series champion, one of the best relievers in Giants history, he was saying, and you asked, it was a great question. He's like, how would you attack Bryce Eldridge right now, this rookie? He's like, oh, just throw him in. Hard in is what I would do. And you know what? Credit to the hitter, knowing what the scouting report is on him, adjusting to that and working on his game. And by the way, I always like to do this because you said, hey, this guy could be up for Rookie of the Year. Well, Vegas agrees with you, Joe. I'm on FanDuel Sportsbook right now. Bryce Eldridge has the 5th best odds right now in the National League for the National League Rookie of the Year. The players above him, and he's tied right now with Connor Griffin at plus 2,500.
He would have been one I would have said. Who else you got?
J.J. Weatherholt is the leader in the clubhouse from the Cardinals.
Yeah. He's had a really good year.
Sal Stewart of the Cincinnati Reds.
That makes sense.
I think lost 6 in a row, by the way.
Yeah.
Nolan McLean, plus 460.
Okay.
And is it Carson Benj or Benji? I don't know how to pronounce it. Plus 1,500 from the Mets. The Mets. So
he's in the mix. You got a couple of months here.
If I would have told you that in June, Joe,
I would have taken it in a heartbeat.
I would have like before the season, like, hey,
I would have taken it in a heartbeat.
It's June 9th and Bryce Eldridge is in the mix for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I'm taking that in a heartbeat.
Now, there's another illustrious list that someone might find themselves on when season's over. More notorious than illustrious.
Oh, you're scaring me right now. I don't know where this is heading.
Well, Rafael Devers has 88 strikeouts in 67 games.
Oh, no. That's not good.
All-time leader in strikeouts in a single season.
For the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Is this recent memory? Is it more recent than I think?
Well, number 3 and number 4 and tied for number 4 are very recent.
Is it Willie Adames?
Willie, last year, 3rd most strikeouts ever in a single season. Matt Chapman the year before tied for 4th with Elliot Ramos, who's last year tied for 4th in the most ever. J.D. Davis is on this list.
Sands boy.
Brandon Belt is on this list a couple times, and Mike Yastrzemski. Devers is going to go flying into this list somewhere. Bobby Bonds, 189 strikeouts. That's the most in a single season all time, 1970. And 1969, back-to-back years.
We went to the moon that year. Did you know that? What's the silence? I was giving you a fun fact.
Okay. His rookie year was 68. 69 is his second, basically his first full season, and his second full season. He set the number 1 and number 2 most strikeouts. Now, he did strike out a lot. He hit a lot of home runs. He could run like the wind. He'd get a lot of walks. My dad thought he was a very complete player that they gave up on way too soon. Most people talk about Bobby. Devers is going for that record. Devers on pace for close to 200 strikeouts.
What does that say about that contract right now?
Well, it's not good.
It's not good.
I mean, if you're batting in the low 240s, let's just say, by year's end, and right now he's at 8 home runs. We could argue about AT&T's robbed him and this, that, and the other. Like, okay, of a couple, 8 home runs, you're going to be a 200 strikeout guy with like 21 jacks? Like, that's not good. So he's going to have to pick up the power numbers. He's got to put the ball in play more. He's only got 20 walks.
How many years left in that contract?
Too many.
That's it?
I'm still doing the deal. It's just, look, Joe.
At one point, do you get to if he's struggling that you were like saying it's a bad deal? Is there ever going to get to a point if he continue if he is on a downward trajectory? And we're all witnessing it.
I mean, you have to look down the line on these things. It's never like 1 year. It doesn't look great, but I'm definitely not as panicky as I am on other deals.
Okay. Well, the only saving grace for Devers is that he has history and skins on the wall of adjusting as a hitter throughout his entire career. So if you're going back to his Boston days up till now, like, he is shown to be one of the best hitters in baseball, no matter what. So, like, in that respect, yes. But the power, I'm with you. That's what scares me right now. For a team that desperately needs it, and you signed Willy Adames hoping to get some, and I know he had 30 last year, and you got Matt Chapman, I thought Rafael Devers was going to be that guy to lead the way. And he's getting paid the most money. So, in theory, if you're getting paid the most, into the highest paid player in the history of the franchise, I would like you to be our team's best player, and he's been far from it.